All right, I want to keep running with the same series, and then I wanted to start the first one out by saying that a lot of a lot of our deepest pain and suffering in this life is a byproduct of being, to my taste, is a byproduct of being reared in a very competitive manner. Like all the way from a young age, things are very competitive. Who did the best spelling so that they can get the best sticker? Who finished the assignment first and they get to put their paper down and now relax while everyone's still trying to figure out the answers. It gets very competitive from a very young age, and it amounts to us thinking that we are an individual. We do have rights. We do have boundaries. We do have strengths. We do have shortcomings. We do have interests, passions, but we are deeply connected and unified at always. Um, Unified for being diverse and diverse for being unified, and the diversity is not possible without the unity. Neither is the unity possible without the diversity. So we are seamless and whole, yet individual, respective, and eccentric, and that makes life really beautiful and dynamic. And you wouldn't have the charges that you need in life, the real force of life, the vitality, without the difference and the differentials that make life possible. But I want to say is that we are all members of something beautiful. So if someone were to land on this video, like with some of the comments I made about how obesity may appear to human beings in general, like on an instinctual level, one is that we are um, we are beautiful as members of this universe, and that's our strength. So whether we are appreciated or not appreciated for one thing or another, we are as equally beautiful as one another because we are one another at always. So if someone were overweight, underweight, or at weight, and suffered with self-image, because that can be as significant. So you would have like obesity, anorexia, and bulimia, would be like three degrees of that. But you could say most human beings are like that. Are one of those, with regard to we all have different doubts about ourselves that would maybe lean into one of those three, about weight, but then also like about height. So like I'm a pretty tall person. Like I'm about 6'4", and most people would say that this and that, 6'4", this and that is so cool. But I think that the only thing that would be a benefit about being like 6'4" would just be that you don't have that particular, you haven't had an opportunity to have a hang up about that is doubt about that. So you're somewhat satisfied with your height, because different people, there's a cultural norm, there had been, over 6 foot, 6'4" is cool. So you appreciate that as cool. But you could say that I don't, for all intents, you really don't know how you're being screened a lot of times and how you're being reacted to perceptually. So as far as I know, there could have been beautiful women that thought about dating me, or just talked about their friends, like, but yeah, he's too tall, man. That dude's lanky, man. I can't. He's cool and everything, but I'm gonna look like I'm gonna look like a little kid next to him. He's gonna like we're gonna be like going to the ride, and like he's gonna be the only one that can get on the ride, and I can't even get on the ride. It just doesn't look right, because being tall like that. So, and I've seen people that are much shorter in stature than me, having cooler experiences than I've had recently. So I don't know that you get any favors, or you get any you get onto any special rides just for being tall. Even they might be like, hey, yeah, you're too tall for this one, man. This is for the younger people, man. You can't get up on this roller coaster. Oh no, but I'm a chaperone. I'm a staff at the school. Nah, man, but you're too tall. You can't get on the ride, man. So, all I meant to say is that the only thing that would be significant is about being tall or whatnot, is just that you don't doubt yourself. You're satisfied with yourself. But from that standpoint, it's as beautiful to be any other height, or even any other size, because that's exactly what this life has you as, and this life wouldn't be itself without you. So I want to say that if you can appreciate your experiences as the experiences of the greater life. So like sometimes, and with that, like a lot of times, like with appearance, like some people would say like a certain person has a look, and you think that they did that look consciously, but a lot of your look, some of it you can't help, because it's like unconscious habits and taste at this point. So like for me, like so sometimes, sometimes you don't appreciate how you are being perceived and responded to by the universe itself. Like sometimes you would say like you start putting two together about yourself or about another person or about an environment. That's actually the universe putting two and two together through you appreciating the environment. Another example is as like some of the times where it really stands out to you how you are being perceived by the universe and responding to the universe in both the most agreeable and favorable way, in the least of which would be up around your appearance. Like, for example, if you have an appearance where you are being maybe careless, tasteless about your appearance somehow in such a way that's like bold and brazen, you might get attention that you would not want, that would be hot attention on you, that the type of attention that you see in movies that you don't want could come upon you, and you didn't know you were having that attention on you, and now it's in your face. Another example would be like if you look like you're on hard times, you may not. So I was like ordering pizza, and I always bring an instrument with me, and I actually write music while I'm waiting for anything in life. So I was outside of the pizza place, sitting down on the ground, because also you get a better angle like for the guitar I play when you're sitting. So but I would look like a little bit like I was on hard times or like a little bit bohemian. And then a car pulled up, and a kid got out of a car, like maybe adolescent. I think maybe their parent commended them. And he said, here, I got something for you. And he had like a muffin. And that was actually a blessing because it gave me the strength to keep working, because I'm actually up against a lot of deadlines. And I was thinking about like slacking up and like taking it, like easing up off the I was thinking about easing up and slacking up and getting slacking up there. And that blessing, it gave me the courage and confidence to keep going. But that was the universe responding to me. The universe perceived a need and responded to me. And so what I want to say is, if you've ever experienced like hunger or been close to hunger, you will appreciate sometimes that the blessings that you need, not less than you need and not more than you need, no sooner than you need, yet no later than you need, as you need, where you need, appropriate, exact, spot on, dead on. A lot of times the universe is like that when you are on hard times, or you actually don't have, you haven't acknowledged to yourself that you are within hard times, but the universe is responding to you in that moment with what you need. Yeah, buddy, I know you got it under control, but I just need you to have this muffin real quick, okay? Can you have this muffin for me? That would be like the universe. And that's actually when that's a form of paternalism that's rock and roll. And that's not because you're so special, but that's because the universe takes care of itself, and it needs itself healthy, and you are part of itself, so it is feeding you itself to for its greater purposes, and your happiness and your functioning is also part of that. And not the least of which, the people who love you and their happiness as being who love you, your health is important to that. So that'd be like my appreciation of the universe responding like that. But so with that, food consumption is very important, because if you've ever had like financial difficulty, it's similar with food consumption, where you have financial difficulty. These are systems. Your financial life is part of different systems. The most potent and broadly speaking are your relationships. Your finances can be appreciated as your relationships, above and beyond representative currency, money, fiat, whatnot. The value in the relationships, in your standing, that is your name, your reputation, your conduct, as it's appreciated over time, such as punctuality and attention to detail and carrying out agreements, is your name and your status, and your relationships, therefore, but in your finance. But you have a failure in there somehow, and things can start to break down in a cascading runaway position, and a person can be out of doors, out of food, out of job quickly when things break down. But it's similar with the human body, where when the food intake is not happening, one system can break down, and it goes down fast. If you've ever like cared for people who are chronically ill, like especially elderly people, they take a fall, and a couple weeks, months later, they're out of here with something different. Like that happened to a family member I had that took a trip, and then it actually punctured the some of the organs, and then we lost them quickly after that. They were on hospice, and they were gone quickly. And that's how things can cascade. So our food consumption is very important like that. But on the flip side, overconsumption can also be damaging. For a long time, I've supported different things like donations, like charity, like when they ask you for things that like donate $1 with this purchase or something like that. And I noticed that when I stopped doing that, if I were to stop giving back, yes, I hoard that little bit, but I end up overspending somewhere else and tripping on my face not too far down the road when I hoard like that. So actually, to overfeed, to overconsume, to over hoard, to over amass can actually injure us both financially and with food consumption. It's not as quick. It's a little bit different turnaround, but it can be as damning, frankly speaking, as underconsumption. So I just want to be respectful that life is a balance, and food is not a joke.